happening today. Work will begin on a tiny house village. It will be home to men and women who've served our country.
And right now, Marissa Kinnison is live from Eastern with what these tiny houses will look like. And you're actually inside one of those homes, Marissa.
Yeah, I got inside for you guys, and these are actually made out of old shipping containers. You can see there's a kitchen right here, and if you follow me towards the back of the house, this is actually a room that can hold a bunk bed. Now, Veterans Village is already home to over 200 units of transitional housing for veterans, but this will add another 11 units. Take a look at this video. This is video of one of the first prototypes, very similar to the tiny house that we are in right now. You can see it's very small, about 160 feet, but has enough room for that bunk bed we showed you earlier, a table and counter space in that kitchen area. But more importantly, it's stability for veterans trying to get back on their feet.
I think people are real surprised at what 160 square feet looks like. And so that's just a small one.
And these containers are very affordable. Coming up later in the newscast, I'll tell you exactly how much it costs to make one of these and also where Veterans Village is coming up with that money. Marissa Kinnison, 13 Action News.
Marissa, thank you. A great idea to help our veterans. Well, also breaking overnight, a man becomes enraged after police say he hit a car, killing 2 people. Police say the Chrysler 300 was speeding down Rainbow right near West Cliff when the driver T-boned a Toyota Corolla that was turning right into a shopping plaza. Police say the passenger in that black car was ejected and died. The driver also died on the scene as well. Witnesses say the driver of the Chrysler was extremely upset after the crash.
He was mad, disorientated, and he tried to run at or attack the other drivers. We stopped him from that. He was talking about wanting to go beat up the people that he just hit.
Police did handcuff that driver and took him to the hospital to be evaluated. Now, since all roads have been reopened.
This morning, Metro's trying to figure out who killed a man near Mount Charleston. Somebody found the guy's body in the remote area on Kyle Canyon Road Saturday night. Police think the victim was in his 30s. Originally, the death wasn't considered suspicious, but now police are evaluating, and they're now saying they're going to treat this case as a homicide. There
are new clues this morning in the search for a man who tried to rob a local casino at gunpoint. Police released new pictures of another man they're now looking for. Detectives say the man on your right is a person of interest. Now, the man in the red jacket is the original suspect who police say tried to rob the Ellis Island Casino. It happened Saturday night. Now, the would-be robber ended up running away empty-handed. It is no secret that CCSD has been experiencing some budget problems.
Well, today the district is inviting you to a meeting so you can see how they're going to handle their finances going forward. The superintendent's budget task force will present its recommendations for future budgeting practices tonight. The district's amended final budget for 2018 will also be reviewed. The meeting is at 6 p.m. at Vegas PBS on Flamingo Road. Today, a teen girl who survived the Parkland school shooting will share her story with her parents, first responders, and medical team at her side.
Yeah, we're going to learn a little bit more about Maddie Wilford. She's going to be representing the students during a media briefing happening today. Well, students and their parents, they went back to Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School for the first time since that shooting on Sunday. The campus held an open house yesterday. It certainly was an emotional homecoming for so many.
I felt happy to be back, to be around everybody that was there, to know that everybody was safe. It was uplifting. I felt better.
17 people dressed as angels. They stood near that school during that open house. Now, many of these people are survivors of the Pulse nightclub shooting that happened in Orlando. Well, new this morning, several 1 October survivors received their checks from a nonprofit that helped raise money for those victims. Well, that is Las Vegas resident Mindy Foster. She received a check for $1,000. She was bartending the night of the shooting and was then out of work for about 2 months after it. The Route 91 Strong is a nonprofit out of California. It was founded by 2 survivors of the mass shooting. This is now, of course, a separate fund from the one started by Clark County Commissioner Steve Sisolak and Sheriff Joe Lombardo.
6:06, hope for the future. Teenagers with autism are getting a lesson in life beyond the classroom. See how a new local program is broadening their horizons.
And also, what's aging women more than obesity and smoking? Well, it has to do with kids. Justin.
It's going to be dry today, but tomorrow, even early tomorrow morning, a couple of rain and snow showers are possible here in the Las Vegas Valley. Now that snow's more likely up in the mountains, but we can't rule out a few Tuesday flakes. I will time out exactly when 35-mile-per-hour gusts get going today as we check your 7-day plan.
And we are up at top of 13, fast and first this morning. We've got a great view and we're looking for breaking news, so stay with us.
New this morning, people with autism are getting some new hope for their future. A program that saw success in Colorado is now here in Las Vegas.
Yeah, what a pretty good idea, right? Parker Collins now shows us how he's preparing people to start a career.
That was Bill Gates' battle, not the war.
Yeah, exactly.
They're learning from the greats, like Bill Gates and Walt Disney. Richie Navarro loves radio. For a long time, it seemed like autism would keep him from his passion.
I always wanted to be on air.
But thanks to the Spark program, Richie may get closer to his dream.
That little bit of spark, if you will, of inspiration in them, when I see that come out unprompted and unmitigated, those are the biggest moments that I think are surprising. It's like, oh, we're doing it right.
This 12-week entrepreneurial program teaches business skills, budgeting, everything you need to know to be successful in the real world.
My hope for the program is just that they understand that they don't have to just bag groceries or work in a typical setting.
This program is proving that no obstacle will hold these guys back as they follow their dreams. Parker Collins, 13 Action News.
It's a great program. 611 Las Vegas, inches away from a tragedy.
But watch here as this car comes crashing into a toddler's bedroom and how that child escaped injury.
Plus, we are all guilty of those impulse purchases, but wait till you see how much they add up.
Well, breaking overnight, 29 people are in the hospital after this 6-vehicle pileup. Police say it involved 6 vehicles, 2 transport trucks, 2 buses, and 2 passenger vehicles. This is in Canada. Another 136 people who were not hurt were taken to a warming center because of the frigid temperatures there. This happened just a couple of hours ago, not too far from Vancouver. Right now, there's no word about the cause, but weather may be to blame. And here in the U.S., cleanup right now is underway in several states after severe weather tore through parts of the South.
Take a look. At least 3 people died in Kentucky from flooding. Emergency teams are out in some areas installing more floodgates after the Ohio River rose above 48 feet. The National Weather Service says at least 9 tornadoes hit 4 states this weekend. In Tennessee, the EF2 tornado packed winds of 120 miles an hour. A man says his wife was home alone when it hit.
The roof from this house?
Yes, came across and knocked those walls. The house started shaking. She said it was about like 2 or 3 freight trains just coming through.
I'm sure that's what it sounded like. Flooding is expected to be a continuous problem because a new storm system is moving over the central United States this week, so no immediate relief in sight.
And talk about some good neighbors here. Several people helped rescue a dog from a home that was destroyed by a tornado. Take a look. This is in Tennessee. The National Weather Service says that an EF2 twister hit the Farmington area. That's about an hour south of Nashville. Now, the dog is okay. Nashville, your old stomping grounds there, Mr. Justin Bruce.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's a part of the country that can see tornadoes basically any month of the year, even in winter. And that was a well-forecast event, so it can still cause lots and lots of problems. Our weather here is going to be dry today with lots of sunshine, but clouds will increase late today into this evening, setting the stage for perhaps a couple of rain and snow showers as early as tomorrow morning. Now, most of the snow is going to be limited to the Spring Mountains, but we can't rule out our rain showers mixing with some snowflakes through the daytime Tuesday. Our temperatures tomorrow will at least be in the 40s, so no snowflakes are going to be able to stick to anything, but we could see a few more flakes flying through the air tomorrow, kind of like we saw on Friday. Here's a closer look around Las Vegas. Now, most of the moisture, I think with the system tomorrow, is going to stay over the mountains, kind of on the west and the south sides of the valley. We're not expecting quite as much moisture to come right on through the heart of Las Vegas, which was not the case on Friday. We're starting today completely dry, lots of sunshine. Grab the sunglasses as you leave the house. Also the winter coat. It's really cold. 30 at Henderson, 30 in Centennial Hills, 32 right at the freezing point up at Nellis Air Force Base, and we've got a decent amount of sunshine outside. Our temperatures cold in the 30s and 40s early this morning. The winds will start to ramp up around lunchtime, and that will drive high temperatures into the mid-60s later today. About 10 degrees warmer than yesterday, but if you are outside trying to enjoy the 60s later today, you'll have a lot of wind to contend with. Now, temperatures tonight will drop down into the low 40s. That's why we're thinking tomorrow, even if we have a couple of snowflakes, nothing will be able to stick. Here's a look at Wind Tracker. The wind as we head toward lunchtime, this is noon, starts to ramp up to 15 or 25 miles per hour, and the gusts both this afternoon and this evening could hit 35 miles per hour here in Las Vegas. So turning blustery later today. Tomorrow, calmer, but a lot colder. Again, though, we're thinking a few isolated rain showers, maybe a wet snowflake here or there on Tuesday. Wednesday looks good, sunshine, calm, and a high of 59. Thursday and Friday, we're back in the 60s, but a lot of wind Thursday into Friday. Maybe a few more isolated showers Friday before we dry out and enjoy highs, Yasmin, in the low 60s this upcoming weekend.
All right, thank you, Justin. I have a new crash I want to warn you about right now. Not a huge intersection, but want you to be prepared when you head out the door. It's on Industrial right near Chicago. So Industrial basically between Wyoming and Sahara. So wanted to warn you about that. As of right now, seeing green in both directions right near that intersection. Also a great update, that crash at Las Vegas Boulevard in Washington has officially cleared. A little slowdown on Las Vegas Boulevard just south of that intersection, but the crash again is looking good as far as the intersection goes. And take a look at the 15. Your Spaghetti Bowl traffic is looking great. Chopper 13 fast and first. Traffic is flowing nicely in both directions right now. So if you're leaving your house the next few minutes, you can expect 8 minutes heading south through the resort corridor, 7 minutes heading north.
Yasmin, thanks. Caught on camera, a car goes flying into the room of a California toddler.
Wow.
Surveillance cameras were rolling when the car hit a curb, flipped, then slammed into the Stubblefield family's home.
Yeah, scary stuff. Now, the family says that car came crashing into their son's room just minutes after they took the 14-month-old out of it.
I can just visualize it in my head if he was in there. I mean, I'm always changing his diaper in there, so is she. I thank the Lord that he wasn't in there.
Oh my goodness, you could understand why that dad is still so upset. Now, police say witnesses told them that they saw the driver street racing before this crash. The driver and passenger were not hurt, but the Stubblefield family has been forced now to leave their home until they can rebuild.
My goodness. New this morning, having children ages women more than obesity and smoking, according to a new study. Researchers from George Mason University found that giving birth speeds up the aging process by 11 years. It's actually not so much the giving birth thing, it's the stress of raising children that does it, according to researchers, especially in countries without mandatory maternity leave. But having come off a little bit of a tough mama weekend. I came in this morning and told Todd, oh, I'm a bad mom. It was just one of those weekends with the kids. I'm like, there's my 11 years right there in one weekend.
I also have to say that for the record, my wife is more beautiful now than ever, and after our son was delivered. See that? Thank you very much.
He's a good egg.
Justin's not buying it over in the Weather Center.
That's very sweet and true. She is. Airbnb is offering a new service to show customers which homes are legit.
All right, so the website is going to begin putting the word plus next to the listings that have been verified for quality. In order to earn a plus, homes apparently they will be rated for things like a comfortable bed, enough towels, fast Wi-Fi, and a full kitchen. The average rate for a plus home is about $200 a night, and right now Airbnb is only offering plus homes in a couple of cities, so something to check out there when using Airbnb. All right, well, impulse buying is really adding up, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know about this study. It found on average people are spending $450 a month on those impulse buys. That's about $324,000 over a lifetime. The survey was conducted by deal-sharing website Slick Deals, and it found that most of our impulse buying happens at a store or restaurant. And a majority of the time the purchase is for you. Authors of the study suggest only stocking up on things you will actually need later on to cut down on the number of impulse buys you make. That's a lot of money in impulse buys, a lot of Snicker bars.
But as I was saying, I feel better about my impulse buys after that because they're like candy bars.
Yeah, exactly, more affordable. This morning, the internet is still reacting to an unusual figure that made an appearance at the closing ceremonies for the Winter Olympics.
Well, take a look here. This human-faced bird is what so many people are talking about. Apparently, it's often seen in Korean history and made its real-life appearance during DJ Martin Garrix's performance. Okay.
It's beautiful. Time now is 6:22. This morning, a new warning about those popular Instapots.
Well, following several reports of it melting, the company is now responding. So what do you need to know about this instant meltdown?
And new this morning, Downtown and the Strip partnering up. The big changes Zappos is bringing to Planet Hollywood. This morning, there's a new warning about Instapot, one of the most popular gifts last Christmas.
Well, some owners apparently say that the device is melted, and ABC's Gio Benitez has the details in today's GMA First Look.
GMA First Look. It was one of the most talked about brands of the holiday season.
It's called the Instant Pot.
It does slow cooking, it does pressure cooking, it even makes rice.
It blows everybody else away. It's Instant Pot. Everybody's using it.
One woman even crediting her Instant Pot with helping her lose 80 pounds.
It makes cooking healthy food fast.
But this morning, some units of one model of Instant Pot have not only been cooking,
I first noticed the separation in the front,
but also melting. This is what mother of three Vanessa LeClaire says she discovered on her Instant Pot multi-cooker just 2 weeks ago. The bottom melted, the wires scorched.
I was scared. I'm glad I found it before I tried to use it again.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll tell you how to check if your model is at risk. With your GMA First Look, I'm Gio Benitez, ABC News, New York.
Well, that is especially scary because especially when you're slow cooking, people sometimes have a tendency to leave it on and sort of leave the house for a little bit, right?
I do. That's the benefit of it, sure. Good morning, Las Vegas. Las Vegas headliner Celine Dion gets a shout out at the Olympics. You're going to hear the tribute.
And also, Samsung right now just announced its newest phone, so we're looking at how they compare it to iPhones and whether or not it's worth your money.
And we're showing you these tiny houses that are helping the homeless. I'll tell you how much it costs for each one to be made.
And we are fast and first. This is near Nellis and Russell. We're seeing a lot of fire engines, but we're not seeing smoke or fire, so we're going to keep our eye on this just to be sure about what's going on over here.
Now on Good Morning Las Vegas.
Right now at 6:30, under pressure. The state of Florida now investigating police response to the mass school shooting. Who's being asked to step down?
And also some changes are coming to One Strip Casino, where the Zappos Theater is opening up today. Well, good morning, Las Vegas. I'm Todd Quinones.
And I'm Beth Fisher. We're going to get to all of your headlines in just a moment. But first, let's check in with Justin Bruce. There's been a lot happening in the Weather Center this week.
Yeah, the last couple of days have been very interesting. We had those snow showers on Friday. We actually dropped below freezing in Las Vegas for the first time in a couple of winters Saturday morning. And as we start the work in the school week today, we've got another cold beginning. 29 right now is the air temperature at the Henderson Executive Airport. It's also below freezing from Green Valley to downtown Henderson. Officially 36 at McCarran, but 29 right now in Centennial Hills. bundle up, make sure the kids have a warm enough coat as they head off to the school bus. Temperatures in the 30s through 7 o'clock this morning, and then sunshine will get us back into the low 40s after 8 a.m. Through the afternoon, warmer than yesterday, highs in the low 60s, and the winds will be organized from the southwest with gusts of 25 to 35 miles per hour. Highs today in the mid 60s. Believe it or not, I'm actually talking about more snow chances as early as tomorrow morning. We'll time out the moisture next.
Whoa, all right. Hey, listen, no reason to rush out the door and into that cold. No big slowdowns around the valley. That's the good news. But I do have 2 updates to construction. A new project kicking off today right near downtown Gass Avenue. You're going to see some lane restrictions starting at Main over to Charleston, so just a heads up out there. Just again kicking off today, and those are going to be in place through August, so just be patient there. We do also have a Spaghetti Bowl ramp closure shutting down tonight, so northbound 15 to go south on the 95. It's going to shut down at 9 p.m. tonight until 6 a.m. I have a feeling it's going to reopen before 6 a.m., but we'll keep you posted on that. In the meantime, if you are living on the east side of the valley and you take the 95 into the center of town, Chopper 13 fast and first over the 95 right near Boulder, and traffic looks great right now in both directions. If this is your way in, 13 minutes to get there, going about 65 miles an hour.
Yasmin, thank you. We're happening today a unique idea to make sure our homeless veterans have a place to stay. Tiny homes are being built for vets.
Marissa Kinnison is live near Fremont and Eastern, and she got inside one of these homes. It's so interesting to see how much they can pack in a small space there, Marissa.
Yeah, it's a tiny home, but it doesn't feel that tiny. It's small, but this is what would be considered the living area. You can see it even has room for a seating area to eat. And of course, the thing here is affordability. This actually only costs about $10,000 for each tiny house to be made. And that's because they're being built out of converted shipping containers. Think Container Park in downtown, but instead of shops and restaurants, it's a home that can sleep 2 people. Veterans Village actually received a grant from Sands Corporation, so this is no money out of taxpayers' pockets. The converted containers will give homeless veterans a chance to get back on their feet by providing temporary housing for them. And the groundbreaking for these tiny houses to be built will actually be held later today. Marissa Kinnison, 13 Action News.
Marissa, thank you. So much needs to be done for our veterans.
Yes.
It's great to see that program. All right. Well, this morning, Florida right now is launching an investigation into how authorities responded to the school shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School.
The more we hear about it, the more upsetting it becomes. The governor, Rick Scott, asked for the investigation. Dozens of state leaders want Sheriff Scott Israel suspended or removed. His department is accused of ignoring lots of warning signs about the accused gunman, but Israel says he won't step down.
At this point, we have no reason to believe that anyone acted incorrectly or correctly. That's what an investigation is.
CNN reports 3 more deputies stayed outside during the shooting and shielded themselves behind patrol cars. It is shocking information. Last week, the school's armed deputy resigned over the backlash that he stayed outside during the shooting. Where were the heroes? There were some heroes in that school, teachers and coaches who gave their lives to save those kids.
And also a lot of students, too.
And a lot of students, yeah. Congress is back to work today, and gun violence will rule their agenda.
Well, we have heard a lot of ideas and proposals, so now we're going to see which of them will actually materialize. Also today, President Trump will meet with the governors on the last day of their yearly conference. Now, he says the shooting is the #1 issue that he'd like to talk about. The president suggested raising the minimum age to buy